So a common issue we have with a lot of DUIs is people who are charged with DUI, they have a license suspension. And they'll get an unexpected notice that their license was suspended shortly after being arrested for a DUI.
That's right. And in the state of Mississippi, if you do not blow in the breathalyzer, you come under what's called the implied consent law. And that basically allows the state to suspend your license even if you are not found guilty of that DUI, even before any of that takes place. And you'll get a little notice in the mail on the address that's at your driver's license. And I think you have, 14 days?
10 days.
10 days. You have 10 days from the time you get that notice, from the time it's mailed. Is it mailed?
I think time it's mailed.
You have 10 days from the time that notice is mailed to appeal it. Otherwise, your license is automatically suspended for a certain period by the state.
And a lot of people don't realize, too, that if they get convicted of their DUI, that there's a driver's license suspension that gets tacked on to your conviction, and it runs on top of consecutive to the suspension that is by the state. And something we haven't talked about is that, yes, if you refuse the breathalyzer, the intoxilizer, they can suspend your license. But if you take the intoxilizer and you blow above a .08, or if you're a minor, blow above a .02, then your license will be suspended regardless.
That's right.
And now there's a process where we can get that extended through the court.
That's right. If you get to us before the period has expired for you to respond to that letter, we can actually intervene on your behalf. And most of the time we are successful in extending your driving privileges so that you can keep your license for the time that you were fighting your DUI case.
Yeah. Look, one of the things that we tell people when they call us about a DUI is we have a whole conversation about your driver's license, because a lot of people just don't understand that there's time restraints. And as important as your DUI is, your ability to drive a vehicle with a valid license is just as important. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we advise people, when we're just talking to friends and family, why you should hire a DUI lawyer as soon as possible, because we're able to get in and do things like save your driver's license, or get that piece of evidence that's going to disappear if you wait 2 months. And a lot of people just don't realize that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We get calls from all kinds of people, truck drivers that depend on their driver's license to literally survive and feed their families. We get calls from mothers that take their kids to school and sporting events. So for a lot of people, that is their primary concern is, hey, just please protect my driver's license. That's my livelihood. And so, when they tell us that, we go to work immediately to try to make that happen.
And so we do kind of, when we work our DUI cases, we do kind of split them into a driver's license part of the DUI and the DUI itself. And I mean, I would say we're pretty successful in the driver's license suspension part, keeping people's driver's license and getting them extended when we need to. All right, let me ask you a question.
Hi.
Why do you like practicing criminal defense?
I genuinely have fun, but I think the real answer is I like helping people in their toughest battles. So, people call us and they're literally, the government is trying to take away their freedom or their livelihood. And you can't fight the government alone. That's kind of why I went to law school, to help people fight the biggest companies and the government. Your rights in the Constitution are there, but they don't defend themselves.
I tell people that the government is one of the biggest things that you could battle against. And we as individuals all deal with government, taxes, whatever the case may be. And in every single criminal case, on the other side of that case is the United States of America.
That's right. They've got all the resources. They've got all the money. They've got everything is stacked against you. And it's our job to go out there and fight for you and to keep the government from doing what they like to do. Really and truly, as criminal defense lawyers, we're not supposed to win. I mean, cards are really stacked against you when the other side's the government. A lot of times they have all this evidence against you
when they walk into our office. And so 9 times out of 10, a case that walks in our office, we're immediately going into that case as underdogs. And, you know, for me, I'm competitive. You're competitive, you know, and hate to lose. And so to me, I think one of the key aspects for me that I enjoy is being able to battle and win against the government.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. And it's easy to be motivated, and it's easy to work extra hard and to stay up later and do extra resources and work when you know that your client's freedom is on the line. You know, and it's up to us. We're the only thing standing between them and the government, and them and jail.
And I'm sure you get this from friends and family, but, you know, the general idea of being a criminal defense lawyer, you get pushback. People tell you you're representing bad people. People tell you you're putting bad people back on the streets. But the way I explain it is we're protecting rights. When we protect one client's rights, we're protecting everybody's rights, including our own. And I think there's a checks and balances. And when we challenge police officers, when we challenge district attorneys' offices, we're doing that for everybody. Someone's got to do it. And I think one of the great things about what we do as a career as criminal defense lawyers, I think there's a lot of enjoyment for that and for me. But I will say, too, one of the reasons I love doing what I do is I love being in the courtroom.
That's right.
I mean, I think we spend 90% of our workday in the courtroom, and being able to walk into a courtroom, which has got to be one of the most intimidating places for a normal person. And to be able to come in here and be the voice for someone, it is pretty incredible to be able to say you can do that. And obviously, you know, it's taken a lot of work to get here for us, but I think that's one of the key enjoyments for me is being able to come into a courtroom.
I agree. And talking about a courtroom, I mean, I think one of the most important things you want in a lawyer is for somebody that when they walk in that courtroom, they're comfortable in that courtroom. You know, if your lawyer's nervous in the courtroom or you know, they're fidgeting, everybody can tell. The judge knows, police officer knows. And so I think when you look for a lawyer, you want somebody that spends most of their time in the courtroom and somebody that's comfortable there. And it's basically a second office for them. We spend more time in the courtroom than we do in our offices.
Look, we tell everybody we meet with, especially on serious cases, go talk to another lawyer. Get a second opinion. Don't treat us lawyers any different than you would a health condition, you know? And we do that because we're always comfortable and we're always confident that they're probably going to come back to us. But, you know, I also tell people that are looking for a lawyer that involves litigation, whether it be against an insurance company, whether it be against the government, go sit in the courthouse. Go sit in the courthouse and watch other lawyers. See how they interact with court staff. See how they interact with other lawyers. See how they interact with your judge. And that'll make the decision for you 9 times out of 10.
That's right. And see how they interact with their clients. See how they interact with in the position that you're going to be in soon. You know, if a lawyer doesn't have time to talk to you about your case and to give you the time that your case deserves, that's probably not the right lawyer for you.